Protests, which are a regular feature of the yearly United Nations Climate Conference, both within and outside the venues, have been muted this year. But on this Energy Day, nothing stops activists from making their grievances known within the Expo City as they want the polluters kicked out of the COP.
It is disappointing that the COP28 is being held in UAE given their heavy dependence on fossil fuels and them pushing for fossil fuels. COP has been captured by fossil fuel corporations and now fossil fuel producing countries. That's why we're seeing a lot of greenwashing around the phase out and a hesitation to clearly put text that phases out all fossil fuels. So it was a bad decision to host COP here.
Government at COP26 in Glasgow in 2021 agreed to phase down the use of unabated coal, the most polluting of fossil fuels. This year, countries remain split over what role fossil fuels should play in the future, but they all agree something needs to be done.
Let's not be focused on fighting one source of energy. The common enemy is emissions. And we need to reduce emissions. But at the same time, some of you have a duty to ensure that energy is available. There is a huge demand from many of those who live in absolute poverty, energy poverty. They demand to have a better life.
Duty to make sure energy poverty is eradicated is what the Rural Electrification Agency says it has taken up. It says in 20 months, it has made almost 100,000 connections that have impacted more than 450,000 people in rural communities in Nigeria. And here in Dubai, it is still cultivating more partnerships because so far, the level of energy poverty in Nigeria requires much more to be done to eliminate it. Reports show countries are off track to meet a United Nations target to keep the rise in global temperatures below 2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels and pursue efforts to limit it to 1.5 degrees Celsius as agreed in Paris in 2015. The head of the International Energy Agency says an orderly decline of fossil fuels should be a part of the outcomes here in Dubai.
In Paris, there was the wind of international collaboration among the countries. Let's come together, solve the problems, and the geopolitical tensions were not as strong as we have now.
At the negotiations, countries are hoping to strike a deal on an increase in renewable energy capacity at the global climate negotiations, which will focus on the gaps in the implementation of the 2015 Paris Agreement. Ayola Kasim, Channels Television News.